All right, Mike, you ready for this? This place has been here since 1968. A lot of knowledge, a lot of Volkswagen, a lot of off-road racing. McKenzie's should be awesome. You ready?
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right, let's go. All right, Mike, I told you this place is ginormous. Check it out.
Oh, this is awesome. Hey, Nick, nice to see you.
Morning.
I'm Mike, your account manager for EMPI. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm that guy, Rob. How are you?
Rob? Nice to see
Good
you
to see
again.
you again. So, hey, we want to do a dealer visit with you and your ginormous showroom. So can you give us the quick overview on what McKenzie's is all about?
Absolutely. Well, McKenzie's been around since 1968. Started off with Scott McKenzie. Not too many people know that. Scott McKenzie was the original founder, thus McKenzie's.
Sure.
I don't know all the historical information of where it started, but I heard it was, somewhere around West Hollywood area, maybe, generalized towards Orange County at some point. It was down the street with Jeff Quinn, the second owner, and made its way here in 2007, I believe, which, crossed the train tracks from EMPI. So been here ever since. But,
Nice.
Yeah.
So since 1968, think about all the things that have happened particularly in off-road racing, right? Huge changes. Class 11's a big deal again. Then you've got all the UTV, the Razor guys. So how does McKenzie's serve all of these different kinds of audiences?
Well, it's definitely a challenge because of being in business for so long. What established McKenzie's is still, it's still there. From the street performance, it's a very live and well, to the off-road performance, class, 11. It's been huge recently.
Yep.
So we've had to stay with that core, business since day one, but also modernize the business with the times. Upcoming, buggies that went from, a class 1 V6 to a V8, class 10s, went from, air-cooled to, water-cooled. Everything's evolved, and McKenzie's has really strived to carry the best brands to serve, the evolution of the sport, but also not forget where we started from.
All right, so how many of these, and I get a bingo exactly?
Right. Well, again, some people walk in and they have an idea of what they want exactly, and some people don't. We've had these in the warehouse for years, in boxes, but obviously people want to come in, they want to shop. You never know what people are working on. They're working on home projects, automobile projects, many different aspects of what people can build. And with the retail being open to the public, you have to accommodate everybody's needs.
Very cool, very cool. So Nick, besides EMPI, which is obviously close to my heart, so I see, internationally recognized brands. I see the K&N, I see the PRP, I see the King, I see the Eibach. Tell me, how did you get your arms around these brands? What kind of choices were made to select those brands?
Well, people come in, they have some creations, and we're McKenzie's. We're a standalone business. We're independently owned and operated, always have been. We're not the big chain store.
Yep.
We're not a Pet Boys, we're not a Napa AutoZone, but those are your make and model.
Sure.
Their limitations are built around that aspect. When it comes to also competition, people want the best.
Yep.
So, again, starting off with EMPI, it's been a brand we've carried since day one of EMPI. We've just built on it.
Yep.
People come in and they ask for an item.
So talk with me about the selection of EMPI. I see the pegboard, and obviously it warms my heart. But are these parts that move with a high velocity, or are these just parts that people like looking at? How do you select what goes on the wall?
Well, the wall's constantly, evolving, and these are a lot of the parts that we move. It's a lot of accessories. People will come in here with a generalized idea of what they're trying to, work on, what they're trying to do. There's filler products, we call it. So we also try to fill that in. It's a lot of the small stuff that they don't think about, where they're like, oh, I need a throttle cable, but they need a shortener piece to go with it,
Sure.
It's never stopping. So if they're doing one thing, it's like, hey, we have these other options to look at while you're here.
Right.
So while you're in there, did you look at this? Did you look at that? So it's more or less trying to cover the spectrum with the parts.
Let me ask the question. If you could do your dream build, any dream build, so I don't care if it's a 516 or an 11 or a buggy or some big old Renthal truck, something like that, what would you start tomorrow if you could do your dream build?
That's a big question, but I've been in off-road my whole adult life. Obviously, the sky's the limit on a build on that.
Yep.
But I think it comes down to what I could use every day and something that I could also use on the weekends. I'll be honest with you, ever since I saw that guy that makes you guys built, that thing is like, that's awesome. We have beautiful weather that shows up. You want to go cruise, whether it's down to the beach,
Yep.
to the mountains, down to Baja. We could build an all-purpose, trophy truck.
Yep.
But you're not driving that on the street. You're not driving it
No,
to
you're not.
there. You're
No.
trailering it.
Right, right.
So why not build something that you could drive there, experience what you want to do with your friends or with the competition at a remote pit, a restaurant on the beach, whatever it may be, and drive it home. I mean, that's the most appealing. Something that's definitely street legal, has some decent power in it, and it's fun to drive.
Hey, do you guys know what time the bus comes by?
Soon.
Okay. So, Nick, I'm noticing I can't think of a showroom I can go to right now where I can go sit in off-road seats and try them out. So clearly these are here for a reason. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Again, when people, they show up, they want to touch, they want to feel, they want to put their hands on it.
Yep.
They want to sit in it. So we try to do the best to accommodate, you can't just feel it and touch it on the web.
Sure.
But when you come in, hey, we've got it. How's it feel? You can sit in it.
So someone could literally sit in. I can see there's like 5-point harnesses. They could figure out straps. They can figure out maybe helmets or accessories they need. But you can help them figure out how they're going to sit in the car, how they're going to strap themselves in, how they're going to comply with the rules in their class. I mean, you guys cover it all.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always set up to their personal needs and what they want the vehicle to be. So, and also what's going to fit.
Sure.
Not only to the driver, but in their car. So they can come in, get a realistic idea and feel for it, get a steering wheel, get some belts, helmet, more gear to go with it for sure.
I think I need this in more of a husky than a petite.
We've got them in extra wide.
Extra wide. Very good. Perfect. That's nice. So, Nick, I see a lot of different driveline components. Can you give me a once-over on what all you guys are into?
Absolutely. Well, we do a lot of the dry flanges. We do the stub axles. We do the CV joints, starting from, type 1, type 2, 930, 934. I mean, there's multi-brands, multi-generations of product. Some stuff that doesn't even exist anymore, but we carry it because there's some newer cars out there. A lot of different options, different boot flanges, CV stars, items like that.
So you're helping people put together custom axles is what you're doing.
100%,
Yeah.
absolutely. We'll set them up from the transmission all the way to the wheel.
So as we kind of conclude, the messaging that I'm getting about McKenzie's is we know this really well. We speak Volkswagen fluently. We love off-road. We're very fluent in off-road. And then you can come on in and you've got questions. You and Steve have answers. You've got the major name brands that help put a lot of these big aftermarket companies on the map. So what don't you have? Do you have a Slurpee machine?
No, unfortunately, we don't do any work. We don't do any physical work, but we do supply all the shops that do.
Okay.
So we usually just have, the best brands and product available for the do-it-yourselfer or to the, local shop or, anywhere.
Gotcha.
Shipping worldwide.
All right, so you're not actually working on the cars, but you're talking to the owners, you're talking to the builders, helping them figure out what they need, getting them the right parts, giving them advice, guidance, all of your experience. I mean, collectively, I think you and Steve are, 60-something years, 70 years of knowledge?
Now you're going to age us.
Well,
yes.
get in line, man. Get in line.
McKenzie's has been around forever. Steve and I, our full adult lives have been involved in off-road. I started in 2001. Steve, that's classified information.
Sure, we don't want to dig into that. So, okay, so that's the great news. So let's talk about somebody who wants to connect with you on social. What's your handle?
We have McKenzie's Performance on Instagram. It's also on Facebook. We haven't been that busy on it, unfortunately, but it definitely is there. We do posting. We also have, you can sign up for the email mailers on our McKenzies.com, and we send those out typically quarterly or monthly.
Perfect. All right, you heard it here. If you happen to be in Southern California, you want to look, touch, and feel and talk to extremely knowledgeable people that also just happen to be an EMPI dealer, then you need to get yourself down to McKenzie's. You need to talk with Nick. If you can get hold of Steve, you can talk to him too. He's just not wanting to be on camera. That's okay. Nick is here. The doors are open Monday through Friday from
9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can walk in. You can take in all of this magnificence. If you're building, if you're fixing, if you're retrofitting, I don't know why you wouldn't be calling McKenzie's, coming to McKenzie's. And of course, they have the full line of EMPI. So what are you waiting for?